Admiral William Carter wiped sweat from his forehead. The room felt too hot, too small, and much too tense. For 3 weeks, he sat at this black stone table with aliens from across the galaxy. And for 3 weeks, they got nowhere. "We will not accept these terms," he said, his voice steady but firm. He looked across at Ambassador Zixtar, whose blue skin seemed to darken with anger. "Earth has no choice," the alien replied. "Your ships go too many places. Your weapons grow too strong. The Council has decided." The Galactic Council chamber held 20 different alien races. Some looked almost human. Others seemed more like walking plants or floating clouds. All of them watched Earth's 2 representatives with cold, judging eyes. Lisa Moreno, Earth's top diplomat, touched Carter's arm gently. Her brown eyes showed she was just as frustrated as him. For 3 years, these aliens had made life harder for humans. They blocked trade routes. They stopped Earth ships from traveling to certain star systems. They refused to share important technology. "The Council talks about peace," Lisa said, standing up slowly. "But you try to control us. You fear us because we learn and grow quickly." The Vexari representative hissed. His see-through skin showed flashing lights of emotion inside his body. "Humans are dangerous. 60 years ago, you barely left your planet. Now you have colonies on 20 worlds. Your ships can fight as well as ours. You must be controlled." Carter stood up too. He was a tall man, and his dark uniform with gold stars on the shoulders made him look even more impressive. Earth joined the Galactic Council, hoping to find friends. Instead, we found bullies. Whispers filled the room. No one spoke to the Council this way. "You want us to remove our defense systems," Carter continued. "You want us to stop building new colonies. You want us to depend on you for protection." The answer is no. The room fell silent. Carter looked at Lisa, and she nodded slightly. They had discussed this possibility many times. If the talks failed, they had a plan ready. "The United Earth government is leaving these peace talks," Carter announced. "We came to find a fair agreement. You only want our surrender." Lisa placed a small metal disc on the table. "This is our formal withdrawal. Earth will now act in its own interests." "You cannot leave," shouted Ambassador Zixtar, rising from his seat. His 4 arms spread wide in alarm. "The Council has not finished its decision." "We have made our decision," Lisa replied calmly. "Perhaps when you are ready to treat humans as equals, we can talk again." Carter and Lisa turned and walked toward the large metal doors of the chamber. Behind them, the Council erupted in angry shouts and arguments. "Do you think they'll attack?" Lisa whispered as they walked. Carter shook his head slightly. "They think they have us trapped. They'll try to pressure us more, cut off more resources. They believe we'll come crawling back within weeks. They don't understand humans very well, do they?" Lisa said with a small smile. "No," Carter agreed as the doors opened before them. "They have no idea what they've just started." As they walked out of the Council chamber and headed toward their ship, neither human realized how big a mistake the aliens had made. The Council thought they were putting humans in their place. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. In orbit above the Council homeworld, Earth's diplomatic ship prepared to leave. Carter stared out the window at the massive alien city below, wondering when he would see it again. Not as a diplomat begging for fair treatment, he promised himself. Next time, Earth would speak from a position of strength. "Send the coded message to Earth Command," he told his communications officer. "Tell them talks have failed. Initiate protocol watchful eye." The officer nodded and sent the message that would change the galaxy forever. High Chancellor Kelvor paced back and forth in the emergency meeting room. His long purple robe swept the floor as he moved. On the walls around him, large screens showed troubling images. "Look at this," he said, pointing to one screen. "Human ships leaving our space stations. Here, human workers going home from alien worlds. And here, trade ships turning around." The room was filled with the most powerful members of the Galactic Council. They watched the screens with different reactions. Some seemed worried. Others looked pleased. "They are doing exactly what we expected," said Counselor Ela from the Talaxian Federation. Her silver skin reflected the blue light of the screens. "The humans are running away." Kelvor nodded, his thin lips forming a smile. "Our plan is working. Without Council resources, Earth will struggle. Soon, they will beg to return to talks." Strategic Advisor Nyx Erin sat quietly in the corner. Unlike the others, she had 6 eyes and green scaly skin. She had fought in 3 space wars and understood fighting better than anyone in the room. "I am not sure this is wise," she said softly. "Humans do not act like other species when threatened." "Nonsense," replied Representative Boros of the Kelbrid Imperium. His massive body took up 2 seats, and his voice rumbled like thunder. "Every species has a point where they break. The humans just need more pressure." Kelvor raised his hand for silence. "We will now vote on Phase 2 of our human containment plan. We will send military ships to block human trade routes. We will stop them from mining resources in disputed areas. We will show our strength without starting a war." One by one, the council members voted yes. Only Nyx Erin kept her hand down. "You do not agree?" Kelvor asked her with narrowed eyes. "I have studied human history," she replied. "When pushed into a corner, they do not surrender. They fight harder." Boros laughed, a sound like rocks falling. "What can they do? Their fleet is small. Their colonies are young. They need our technology." Nyx Erin shook her head but said nothing more. Instead, she turned to her data tablet and pulled up files about human wars from before they reached space. What she saw made her 6 eyes blink rapidly with concern. Meanwhile, across the chamber, military officials were already sending orders. Within hours, council ships began moving toward human space. Large battleships with powerful weapons positioned themselves around key travel routes between Earth and its colonies. "How long until the humans feel the pressure?" asked Counselor Ela. "Their outer colonies have few supplies," answered Fleet Commander Drac. "Some will run out of food within weeks. The mining stations are already reporting shortages of crucial parts." "Excellent," said Kelvor. "When their children grow hungry and their machines break down, they will understand their place in the galaxy." The council members began to leave, satisfied with their plan. Only Nyx Erin remained, still studying her screen. She pulled up images of human battles, human weapons, and human tactics throughout their history. "We have made a terrible mistake," she whispered to the empty room. In space, massive council warships formed blockades around human territories. Their commanders sent the same message to any human ship that approached: turn back or be destroyed. The ships glowed with powerful shields and bristled with weapons. They looked unbeatable. But on the screens monitoring Earth itself, something strange was happening. Instead of panic or chaos, the planet seemed calm. Military bases showed normal activity. Civilian traffic continued as usual. It was almost as if Earth had expected this all along. As if they were ready. As if they had a plan of their own. Deep under the Rocky Mountains, President Gregory Martinez stood in a large room filled with screens and busy workers. This hidden command center had existed for decades, unknown to the Galactic Council. "What's the situation?" Martinez asked, his face serious as he watched a 3D map showing alien ships around human space. General Samantha Ortiz pointed to red dots blocking the space lanes. "They've cut off the Centauri route. 37 alien ships now sit around Alpha Proxima. More are coming every hour." Martinez was a tall man with gray in his black hair. He had led Earth through difficult times before, but never anything like this. "How long before our colonies run out of supplies?" Intelligence Director Kevin Washington checked his datapad. "New Eden has food and medicine for 3 months. The Galileo outpost may be 6 weeks. Our mining stations in the asteroid belt already report shortages." Martinez nodded slowly, taking in the information. Then he turned to the 4th person at the table, Dr. Alan Blackwell, a scientist with round glasses and a worried expression. "Doctor, I think it's time," Martinez said quietly. Blackwell took a deep breath. "The systems are ready, Mr. President, but once we use them, there's no going back. The Council will know we lied about our technology. They gave us no choice," Martinez replied. He placed his hand on a scanner to prove his identity. "Begin Operation Deadlock." Across human space, hidden bases suddenly came to life. Ships that looked like simple cargo vessels dropped their fake outer shells, revealing powerful weapons underneath. Asteroid mining bases opened secret doors, showing massive guns and shield generators. And in Earth orbit, something even more surprising happened. 7 huge warships, each one bigger than anything humans had ever shown to aliens, appeared out of nowhere. They had been invisible, hidden by technology the Council thought humans didn't have. On the main colony world of New Eden, people watched in amazement as the ground opened up and defense towers rose from hidden underground bunkers. Commander Jack Powell stood on the bridge of one of the massive ships, now visible in Earth orbit. "Fleet is ready, Mr. President. All systems operational." In the Mountain Command Center, Martinez looked at the updated map. Now it showed not just the alien blockade, but also hundreds of human military assets that had been kept secret for years. "We knew this day might come," he told his advisors. "Since we first met aliens, we prepared for the worst while hoping for the best." General Ortiz studied the battle plan on her screen. "The Council thinks we're weak. They have no idea what's coming." "Are we really going to fight the entire Galactic Council?" asked Washington, looking concerned. "Not if we can help it," Martinez answered. "We just need to show them we're not as helpless as they think." Admiral Carter's fleet will break through the Alpha Proxima blockade first. Disable their ships, but try not to destroy them or hurt their crews. "And if they fight back?" Dr. Blackwell asked. Martinez's face hardened. "Then they learn what happens when you corner humans." The president pressed a button on the command table. His voice went out to all hidden human forces across the solar system and beyond. "This is President Martinez. For years, we've hidden our true strength, hoping the galaxy would accept us as peaceful partners. That hope has died. The Council chose to treat us as enemies. Now they will learn that humanity is not to be underestimated. Operation Deadlock begins now." Across human space, ships powered up engines and weapons. The trap that humanity had set years ago was finally springing shut, and the Galactic Council had no idea what was about to hit them. Council member Zixtar couldn't believe the reports coming in. His 4 hands shook as he read the data. Human forces had broken through the blockade at Alpha Proxima in just 20 minutes. The Kelbridge ships that tried to stop them now floated powerless in space. "How is this possible?" High Chancellor Kelvor demanded, his purple face turning almost white with shock. Their technology should not be this advanced. The Council emergency room was in chaos. Leaders from across the galaxy watched screens showing their military failure. Admiral Reltak, the head of the Council Defense Force, showed them video from the battle. "The humans are using energy weapons we've never seen before. Our shields don't work against them. And these ships," he pointed to the huge human warships, "were never shown to us before. They hid their true strength from us," Zixtar said in a low voice. "All these years." "Not hiding," said a familiar voice. Strategic advisor Nix Aaron entered the room holding a small data device. "Preparing. I've been studying human history since they left the talks. We judged them by what they showed us in public. We never thought about what they might be building in secret." She connected her device to the main screen. Images of human wars from their history appeared. Humans always use tricks in war. They hide their real strength. They only show it when they have to. They call it strategic surprise. The Council watched in silence as human forces easily disabled, but did not destroy, every blockade in their space. Each battle was the same: overwhelming force, perfect shots at weapons and engines, and communication systems left working so the defeated ships could tell others what happened. It wasn't killing. It was a message. On one screen, they watched as a massive human warship approached a Council blockade near a human mining colony. The Council ships fired first, their weapons flashing across space. But their shots hit some kind of invisible shield around the human ship. The human ship then fired back, not with many weapons, but with single, precise shots. One by one, the Council ships lost power to their engines and weapons. Not one alien crew member was hurt, but they could no longer fight. They could destroy our ships if they wanted to. Admiral Reltak said quietly, "They're choosing not to." In another part of space, near the colony called New Eden, Council spy satellites captured images of huge defense systems rising from the ground. The colony that had seemed defenseless now bristled with weapons. "Every human world is the same," reported a Vexari intelligence officer. "Hidden defenses everywhere. They built them right under our eyes." Chancellor Kelvor slumped in his chair. "How did we not know? Our spies are everywhere in human space." Nick Soran clicked through more images on the screen. "Because humans expected spies. They built fake facilities for us to find. They let us see exactly what they wanted us to see." On the main screen, a new message appeared. It was from Admiral William Carter, the human who had walked out of the peace talks. His face looked calm, not angry. "Attention, Galactic Council. Your blockades have been neutralized. Your ship's crews are unharmed. We could have destroyed them, but that is not our way. Earth is ready to talk again, this time as equals. You have 6 hours to respond." The council room fell silent. The aliens who had thought humans were weak now understood their terrible mistake. The species they had tried to control was far more powerful than they ever imagined. And now that same species was giving them a second chance. 7 days after Operation Deadlock began, Admiral William Carter stood on the bridge of his ship, the UES Vanguard. It was the largest ship in Earth's hidden fleet. Around him, human officers worked at control stations, monitoring the situation across space. Before him, a large screen showed the faces of the Galactic Council leaders. They looked much less proud than they had at the peace talks. Some seemed afraid, others angry, but all were paying close attention. "You lied to us," said High Chancellor Kelvor, his voice tight with anger. "We protected ourselves," Carter replied calmly. "Every technology we used was built by humans. We did not break any council rules. We just didn't show you everything we had." "Your fleet has beaten 16 blockades and entered council space in 3 areas," said Admiral Reltak. The alien military leader's voice held a note of respect. "What do you want from us now?" Carter allowed himself a small smile. "We have no demands. We want to talk again. Really talk this time." Lisa Moreno stepped into view beside Carter. She looked tired but determined. "The Council tried to control humanity because you feared what we might become. You didn't understand that pressure doesn't break us. It makes us stronger. For every rule you made against us, we found 3 ways around it. For every technology you kept from us, we built 5 of our own." Carter nodded. "We don't want war. We never did. But we will not be pushed around or treated as less important members of this galaxy." "And if we refuse to talk?" asked Kelvor, though his voice had lost its confidence. Carter's face became serious. "Then you should know that what you've seen is less than 30% of our real military strength. We've been careful not to destroy your ships or hurt your people. That kindness might not continue if you force us to show more." The silence that followed told Carter everything. The Council had believed they were dealing with a weak, young species that could be easily controlled. Now they understood how wrong they were. "We will talk," Kelvor finally said. "Where and when?" "Neutral ground," suggested Lisa. "The station at Ta City, 2 days from now." As the council members agreed and the call ended, Carter turned to look out the large window of his ship. Stars stretched out before him, and in the distance, he could see the disabled council ships floating in space. Human rescue teams were already helping the alien crews with supplies and repairs. "Do you think they've really learned their lesson?" Lisa asked, standing beside him. "They're starting to," Carter replied. "But old habits die hard. They've been the strongest power in this part of the galaxy for thousands of years. It's hard for them to accept that things have changed." On the main control screen, reports came in from across human space. The blockades were gone. Supply ships were reaching the colonies again. Earth's hidden fleet was now patrolling openly, no longer pretending to be less than they were. "What happens now?" asked Captain Frank Simmons, Carter's second-in-command. "Now we build a real peace," Carter said. "One based on respect, not fear. The Council needs to understand that humanity will always defend itself, but we'd rather be friends than enemies." As the Vanguard prepared to head toward Tau Ceti for the new peace talks, Carter couldn't help but feel proud. Humanity had faced its first real galactic challenge and had proven itself strong. But deep inside, he also felt worried. The Council had backed down because they were surprised. What would happen when they recovered from that surprise? Would lasting peace be possible, or was this just the beginning of a larger conflict? Only time would tell. 3 days into the new peace talks, things were going well. The Council members now treated the human delegates with respect. Admiral Carter and Lisa Moreno sat at the main table as equals, not as junior partners begging for fair treatment. Suddenly, loud alarms blared throughout the Tau Ceti station. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Council security officers rushed into the meeting room. "What's happening?" Carter demanded as he was quickly led with Lisa and the Council leaders into a secure room deep inside the station. Once the heavy doors closed behind them, High Chancellor Kilvor activated a large screen on the wall. His hands shook slightly. "Explanations now," Carter said firmly as he watched the Council members exchange worried looks. Strategic Advisor Nyx Eren stepped forward. Her 6 eyes blinked nervously as she showed a map of the galaxy. A massive energy reading was moving toward them from the outer edge of the galaxy. "That Exarchen have returned," she said in a quiet voice. "Our ancient enemy, who we thought died long ago." Lisa's eyes widened. "The extinct race mentioned in your historical records. They're not extinct. They were sleeping," explained Chancellor Kelvor. His earlier pride was gone, replaced by real fear. "They wake up every few thousand years to attack advanced civilizations. We think our fight with humanity may have gotten their attention." Carter studied the map carefully. "How long until they reach populated space?" 2 weeks at their current speed," replied Admiral Reltak. "That Exar can eat technology and living creatures to fuel their growth. They cannot be reasoned with." "And what defenses does the Council have ready?" asked Lisa. The silence that followed told her everything. "Let me understand this," Carter said slowly. "You've been limiting humanity's growth and military development because you were afraid we might challenge you, while a threat to all life was sleeping at the edge of the galaxy." Kelvor looked ashamed. "The last Harkin attack was 8,000 years ago. We thought we had more time." Carter and Lisa shared a long look before Carter touched his communication device. "Carter to Earth Command. Start Contingency Omega. Priority Alpha." Turning back to the stunned Council members, he continued, "Humanity has always prepared for worst-case scenarios, including the possibility that we might face threats bigger than political arguments." "What is Contingency Omega?" asked Nyx Eren. "A plan we made in case we ever faced a threat to all intelligent life," Lisa explained. "We hoped we'd never need it." On screens around the room, they watched as messages went out across human space. Hidden factories that even the Council didn't know about began producing weapons and ships. Military bases on every human world went on high alert. "You prepared for this too?" asked Kelvor in amazement. "We prepare for everything," Carter said simply. "It's how we survived on Earth before we reached the stars. Now it's how we'll help the galaxy survive." "We don't have enough ships," Admiral Reltak said, looking at the size of the approaching Tarkin fleet. "Even with your hidden fleet, we cannot win." "Not with current tactics," Carter agreed. "But humans are good at finding new ways to fight." He turned to the council members. "We will share all our technology with you, every weapon, every shield. In return, you must commit every ship you have." "You would trust us with your secrets now?" Kelvor asked in surprise. "This is bigger than old arguments," Lisa said. "If the XR cannot be stopped, we all die together, so we must all fight together." For the first time since meeting him, Nyx Eren saw something new in the human admiral's eyes. Not anger or pride, but hope. "Perhaps," she said quietly, "this is why the universe created humans, to help us when we needed them most." The XR arrived at the edge of populated space with a fleet so large it blotted out the stars. Their ships looked like giant twisted coral formations, alive and hungry. Their first attack destroyed an outer council monitoring station in seconds. But they found something waiting for them, something they had never seen in thousands of years of attacking civilizations: a united galaxy. Under humanity's leadership, ships from every species had formed a defense line. Earth had shared its advanced shield technology with former enemies. Human engineers worked side by side with alien scientists to upgrade weapon systems. Carter's hidden fleet now led the largest fighting force the galaxy had ever seen. On the bridge of the UES Vanguard, now serving as the command center for the United Fleet, Admiral Carter and representatives from 27 species watched the XR approach. "Remember the plan," Carter said calmly. "Let them commit to the trap zone before we spring the surprise." Lisa Moreno, now working as coalition diplomatic officer, stood beside Nyx Eren. "It's amazing how quickly everything changed," she remarked. The alien advisor's 6 eyes blinked thoughtfully. "The council feared humans because you think differently. Now we understand that difference is exactly what we needed." As the XR fleet moved into position, Carter gave the order: "All ships, execute Operation Deadlock Prime." Throughout the battlefield, human and alien vessels used tactics from thousands of years of Earth's military history: tricks, ambushes, and coordinated attacks that the XR had never faced before. The ancient enemy was used to fighting scared and disorganized victims, not united and prepared defenders. At the crucial moment, hundreds of stealth platforms, based on technology humanity had kept hidden even from their new allies until the last moment, appeared out of nowhere and fired all at once, creating a deadly crossfire. The battle lasted for days. Both sides lost ships, but the XR, for the first time in their ancient history, found themselves outsmarted at every turn. When the last Harkin ship turned and fled toward the darkness between galaxies, cheers erupted across all coalition vessels. Admiral Carter allowed himself a brief smile before turning to the council representatives on his bridge. "I believe we have some peace talks to finish," he said, "this time as true allies." High Chancellor Kelvor bowed his head. "More than allies, Admiral. The galaxy owes humanity a debt we can never repay." "You can start by removing those trade restrictions," suggested Lysa with a smile, "and maybe sharing some of that special Talaxian wine the Council keeps for celebrations." Laughter filled the bridge as the tension of battle finally broke. Later, as the Coalition fleet headed back to more populated areas, Carter stood alone by the large window of his quarters, looking out at the stars. Stars that would remain bright because humanity had walked away from a bad deal and forced the galaxy to recognize their true worth. A soft knock at his door interrupted his thoughts. It was Nyx Eren. "Admiral, the Council has voted. All restrictions on human expansion have been lifted. Your colonies will receive full membership status. And..." She paused, seeming almost embarrassed. "The Council would like to offer Earth the leadership position of the new Galactic Defense Force." Carter raised his eyebrows in surprise. "That's quite a change from trying to control us." "The Council has existed for 12,000 years, Nyx Eren said. "In all that time, we never faced a threat like the XR and survived. We never imagined a species like humans, who prepare so thoroughly for dangers they haven't even seen yet. It's just who we are, Carter replied simply. On Earth, we learned the hard way that peace doesn't just happen. Sometimes you have to be ready to fight for it. As the ship traveled through space, carrying representatives of a newly united galaxy, Carter thought about the long journey that had brought humanity to this moment. From their first steps into space to becoming defenders of the galaxy, humans had never stopped preparing, never stopped improving. Sometimes, he reflected, you have to walk away from a bad deal to find a better future. Asterisk, the end asterisk.